edition of Mirror TV here on AltoonaMirror.com. I'm Neil Rudel and joined again by our sports editor, Buck Frank, gearing up to for the Steelers. Buck is fresh from the Steelers opener against the Titans. Let's roll the tape back just a couple minutes on that. You warned me it was going to be a closer game. I thought the Steelers were going to win decisively, and you of course were right.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Titans are a good team. Last year they were the best team through the regular season. They were 13-3, and they just create a lot of matchup problems for the Steelers. They have a good defensive line, and as evident in the game, the Steelers' offensive line is one of their weaker spots. So. Yeah, it was a good game. Not a lot of scoring.
Right.
I like to see a lot of scoring, but real competitive.
Now the Steelers have had 10 days off, which should bode well, even though they have to travel to Chicago.
Yeah, and Chicago is a tough place to play.
Right.
In fact, the Steelers have only ever won there once. I think maybe you were there for that game. Is that right?
I actually stayed an extra day after Penn State played Northwestern.
Okay.
And this has to be going back, I'm guessing, 10 years or so. Neil
O'Donnell
was
95.
There you go, 14 years.
Yeah, because that was the year they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Cowboys. And that win, it was an overtime win out there, and that really got them going toward the Super Bowl. So it's a tough place to play, but they really haven't played out there much, the Steelers.
Right.
So
I remember how cold it is out there. And of course, I think it was late season. This shouldn't be too bad. How about the injury situation? But Polamalu is going to be out now indefinitely, or at least for 4 or 5 weeks.
Right, and and of course the Bears lost Urlacher, their leader on defense as well. And I think the Polamalu injury hurts the Steelers a little more, just because he's irreplaceable. The things he can do on the football field, no one else can. Where Urlacher, I think they'll plug someone in there. Hunter Hillenmeyer will start middle linebacker. He'll do a decent job, but Polamalu, Tyrone Carter is not Troy Polamalu.
Well, no one is. And he was off to such a great start. He had already made 3 or 4 incredible tackles. His closing speed, have you ever seen anybody like this as far as their ability to run down, to support the run?
No, and I'm surprised he's not injured more than what he is.
Yeah.
He's just all over the field out there.
And plus he's constantly leading with his head.
Mm-hmm.
So you wonder about his long-term. So he's supposed to be out. Is it? I said 4 to 5. I think it's
3 to 6. Is kind of what they're saying. It's going to depend where their bye week falls and everything. But he'll probably at least miss 3 games.
Yeah. But what about their running game, Buck? The Steelers' bread and butter has always been their run, and it's kind of like Penn State.
Yeah. It's funny how both teams, Penn State and the Steelers, both known for running, are doing so well in that area this year. I don't know. The linemen, they did a decent job pass blocking the other night, although they gave up 4 sacks. But I don't know how good these guys are at run blocking. Parker, he may have a hamstring problem, I don't know, but he didn't seem to have his usual speed. And they run this offense now without a lead fullback, and even on 3rd and 1 the one time, they don't have a fullback in there, and I don't know if they have the right guys. They found the right mix for the short yardage.
Does it seem like they're getting more out of Moore?
Yeah, well, he's good. He's a good receiver out of the backfield. So, and he did well last year when he came in.
Wrapping up, the Bears had a pretty tough opener, and they're transitioning to a new quarterback who has a volatile, kind of fragile guy. I wonder whether they're really a work in progress. I know I kind of look for the Steelers to win this game.
Yeah, I'm picking the Bears this week.
Fuck, what's going on here?
Well, I don't really. I'm not
I'm just kidding.
I'm not a big Jay Cutler fan,
right?
But he's not horrible. He's how do I want to say? He's consistently inconsistent. So last week he had a bad week. That probably means this week he could turn around and have a good. He threw 4 interceptions,
right?
And without Polamalu in there, the Steelers, he's the guy that intercepts all the passes for the Steelers. Ike Taylor, has trouble holding on to the football and everything, so I don't see him throwing 4 interceptions this week. And the Bears' defensive front, the front four, which includes Anthony Adams from Penn State, is a very good front four, and that's just like last week. That presents problems for the Steelers.
You want to make your pick? I know you're going to make it in the paper, or do you want us to just tease it to the paper? You're picking the Bears. How's that?
Yeah, I'm picking the Bears, probably by a Robbie Gould field goal. So.
Okay. Well, that'll be I think one of the factors. Reed has so much success he's a great kicker, but out there you're going to have some wind. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll see which kickers handles the wind better.
Yeah. Plus, I hear the surface out there is pretty bad right now. I know some of the Bears have been commenting on how bad it is, so that could play a factor in the game as well.
Okay, Buck, we appreciate it. We'll be back next week to preview review the Bears game and look ahead at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Steelers will be on the road 2 straight weeks. For Buck Frank, I'm Neil Rudel saying thank you for watching Mirror TV, and we'll see you real soon.